What is going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another superstar from the world of combat sports, former MMA fighter, current bare knuckle fighter, Big Ben Rothwell. On the streets, though, he's known as the Berserker. What's up, man?
This is nonsense. Stop that garbage. Something that happened in the year 2000 by accident, and I got made fun of because in some movie, I'm blah, 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 Berserker. I don't even know the movie, but apparently it's funny. And this guy's chanting Berserker.
Got it.
It's a real Berserker is a cool thing, but James Bennett, he's a 150, 45-pound fighter in my gym. He's the Berserker now. I'm just big.
We'll reach out and get that fixed for you, Big Ben.
Yeah, do something.
All right.
Do something, crying out loud. You didn't land me a deal with Francis.
Hey, look, those is already going to work. So we're not going to hide from what we're trying to accomplish. What's it say back there? Francis versus Big Ben. So you've seen everything unfold with Francis Ngannou no longer in the UFC. Wants to, he wants freedom to do what he wants. First, talk about that. What did you think when you saw that? Was that like a raise of the beer, like salute to Francis? Or would you be more on the side of like, ooh, Francis, I don't know if that's a good idea.
I was in Croatia. Unfortunately, it was a down for me. I lost that fight to Junior. That was like a big moment for me. Shit the bed. And Francis introduced himself to the world, but we all met in the back room during some of the workouts, backroom stuff. And Francis was super humble and a cool guy then for day one, first fight in the UFC. So I've always been fan with Francis. He's always super respectful, humble to me. And then years go by, he does awesome. I've seen him at the UFC PI several times. We've always had great conversations. I always wished him the best. I told him, like, dude, yeah, the belt it's just a matter of you getting the title fight. And he did exactly what I told him he was going to do. He got it, won the belt. So nothing but props to him. Always been an outstanding guy. Has a hell of a story. He's got a huge fan base. What a thing to do as a champion, to stand your ground, say, hey, it isn't about the money. I think it is. I mean, it comes down to, like, if the money was correctly being done, but there's a principle to it. Like, hey, man, I'm in this position. I did everything I was supposed to do. Now show me what it was worth, and they didn't. I think there's some really, really awesome opportunities for him. I know David of Bareknuckle, he's throwing it out there, and I'm sure he's going after him. David's making some big news with Bareknuckle right now. I'm very, very happy to be with him right now and help blow this thing up. I just think Francis has a really, really big opportunity with, some people are saying Daytona Wilder and stuff like that. I'm like, if I'm Francis, I'm going Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, pay-per-view, big money. Both of us can get paid so much we could walk away and not fight again forever. Though Tyson keeps fighting anyways because the man just loves it. I don't think Tyson has to work anymore. He just loves fighting that much. Always out to challenge himself. So he's got that in Francis. I think everything I'm reading, people are like, don't even give Francis a chance. So that's hilarious. That means the pay-per-view to me is just going to sell that much better because so many people are going to want to see what happens. I do, I would love to fight. People think I'm crazy. I'm a 10-1 underdog against Francis or Tyson, maybe a 20-1. But hell, I would love to do it. I'd love to fight either. I'm in a boxing or a bare knuckle fight. I'm probably the only one crazy enough maybe to fight Francis bare knuckle. Hey man, as long as we get paid and have fun, fans will love it. I know I can give a good fight, and it's exciting times. What's going to happen? It's going to be interesting to see because I don't think anybody's seen the UFC losing its heavyweight champion. Never happened before, right? So, and then Francis got to come out and say, like, hey, I was asking for these things. So Francis a little bit kind of stirred a fighter union here, man. I think Francis might even call me up and say, hey, Ben, you've been throwing your own shows. You're getting pretty good at this production thing. Why don't we throw our own pay-per-view? I'm in. It'll sell millions. Oh, my God, look, I'm so excited. I'm breaking the camera. So it's a very interesting time in the sports combat world.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of when Fury came out and said 4-ounce gloves in a cage, Queensberry rules, Mike Tyson as a referee. If you were to fight Tyson Fury, would you rather go 10-ounce gloves, normal Queensberry, box in a boxing ring, or did you kind of like his hybrid rules?
I'm interested to see how Francis thinks because I think less equipment, the money, and I don't even know how. It should be maxed out with whatever one they pick. It should be maxed out. But for me, it's just like we put 10-ounce gloves on. Okay, it could be this. We go little gloves on it. You know, it's more danger, more risk. So we should be getting compensated more. I mean, I don't know. I honestly I don't know what is what, who it benefits, because Tyson is known for his hands. So the guy's got some of the best boxing on the planet at heavyweight, and Francis is an extremely powerful and very good with his hands too. And Francis is more used to the MMA glove. So is that an advantage for Francis? Yeah, very well, could be. So I don't know on that one. I don't really have a good answer. I do it. I don't care. 10-ounce gloves, no gloves. I do it all. So it's fine with me.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Let's say the money's the same. Then what rule set would you choose?
Well, Tyson is most comfortable in the 10-ounce gloves. So is that, by him saying bare knuckle, does that give me the advantage? Because I'm okay with no wraps, being bare knuckle. He asked for 4-ounce gloves. I'd say, no, let's go bare knuckle then. Screw the 4 ounces. Let's just bare knuckle it. Because I think it's my advantage then, because boxers get very used to having their hands wrapped a certain way,
Right.
used to that extra. You know, I drop my head and hits me in the top of the head with a jab, I might break his hand. I'd probably be concerned of his too. So I think bare knuckle advantage, you know, probably for me or Francis.
So you've already explained, you've already shown a lot of respect to Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. So I think you know kind of where you may sit here, and maybe tell me if you agree, because I'm trying to look at a picture of how 2023 might go. There's a rumor Tyson Fury might fight Alexander Usyk. They said first quarter of 2023. So I'm expecting an announcement and something to happen here pretty soon in early 2023. And I would imagine after that, it would be Fury versus Ngannou. Unless that other boxing match doesn't get made and it's just Fury versus Ngannou, who knows? But if it is, this is pushing things out till later in the year, where maybe Francis, after picking up that bag from boxing, perhaps he could dabble in bare knuckle. In the meantime, I think you want to fight because you said you wanted to get on Knuckle Mania, which is happening next month, if I'm not mistaken. So how do you see the year unfolding for Ben Rothwell?
I can still talk about them because I think Tyson makes a mistake waiting 2023 to fight Houston. Like, I understand the boxing community wants to like that fight. Who's going to get paid? You know, does Tyson want? I don't know. Like I don't know. Does Tyson care about money at this point in time? But business-wise, you should. You know, every time we go in there, we're risking ourselves. We should want to compensate ourselves as much as possible. So I think him and Francis should want to make that deal happen this year. That thing is going to sell way more than Tyson versus the other guy, in my opinion. I'm a businessman, and I have to I want that fight. I think everybody would agree that's involved with this. Why did Tyson call him out? Because he knows that's the fight to make. He was only moving on because Francis was locked up in UFC. So of course he was trying to make moves with somebody else. Well, that all changed. They should make that fight happen this fall, summer even, but probably this fall. Me, I need to fight way sooner than all of that. I was supposed to fight February, and then I'm getting told March. There's a couple cards in March. Then I'm getting asked to hold out for April because something really epic is going down. I'm super excited for it to go through. David's going to take bare knuckle to a level we can only dream of. So, and I'm about it. It's worth waiting. He's saying it would all go down in April. Fingers crossed, all of that. And we'll have a big announcement. Opponent's already figured out. It'll be a new signing. That'll be really exciting in itself, wherever we fight. But this big thing going down, it's going to be exciting for everybody involved.
That's it. That's great and all, Mr. Riddler. However, it is our job to fish and try and find out what the heck you're talking about. We're excited. It sounds huge. Just bear in mind that David Feldman gave this to us. So I don't think he would mind if you would give us a hint give us a nugget?
No. This is my chance to bring back the IFL days when the owners would go, Ben, big things, bro, big things. And I'm like, awesome, what is it? And he goes, can't tell you yet. Gotta win. I'm like, you. So this is better because those big things never happen. So it's good that he didn't tell me because of shit. I ended up finding out what it was and it didn't happen anyway. This, I've done some backtrack research on it. The stuff is very close to happening.
As in the opponent is going to be a big fight for you?
The opponent will be an exciting announcement itself.
Okay.
Put us on any card, it's going to be exciting. But there's something really planned, something big planned here to put Bareknuckle on the map like it's never been on before. And we're going to be a part of helping making that happen. So I'm excited, man. Let's just, hey, David, you guys need to yell at David. Like, man, Ben just keeps saying some stuff, man. Give me something. So it's just not, I don't want to, I can't. You know, I got David threatened me. David threatened me. He said, you fucking keep your mouth fucking shut. So I'm just doing my job of getting everybody like, what the fuck? Because it is an awesome thing. It's got some awesome things coming up.
So it's a big name. We know that, right?
Yeah, it's a name. I got a name for an opponent. That's going to be a big announcement. It's a new signing. So it's going to be, that's all exciting in itself. And then where it's going to be, somewhere March or April is what I'm told.
Will we recognize the name, Goes and I?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess my other question would have been, Arnold Adams is the champ. What's the path to fight for the title?
Winning this next fight with this opponent, definitely going to undoubtedly put me up in it. They got a guy from England named Mick Terrell, and he fought just a little bit ago, and he claimed that his beating that bum, he beat some bum up, literally. He's fought a couple of bums. And now, no guys are being disrespected. Good, fight me. You know, you get mad at what I'm saying. I'm calling you a bum, get mad and fight me. But anyway, that's where they're at. There were no name guys that he beat, and now he claims that he gets the next title fight. And I said, hey, dude, you got a long wait because Arnold and Belcher are fighting. Why don't you fight me? And he goes, no, I'm going to fight for the title, and then I'll fight you. I'm like, then you and I are going to fight probably because you might not win the title, and you got a long wait. Arnold and Belcher are fighting the end of February. When are they going to fight again? Maybe the summer? You know, whatever. So I'm going to fight before, and then I'm going to get the title fight.
I like it.
And Mike Terrell ain't going to like it. And I'm going to say, fucking bad, man, because people tune in to see me fight. They don't give a shit about you. You don't like it? Fight me. Or I'm going to win the title, and then you can wait and fight me. And I'll get my defense off you. Why am I being this way? Because fuck it. All right, we got shit to do. We got people to fight. It's time to go.
I didn't even know who that was. I know who Big Ben is.
Exactly.
All right. By the way, tomato can is also applicable if you don't want to use bum. That's a good one as well.
Trash can, tomato can, bum, sideshow, whatever.
You know what's another good one? I don't think we can use it anymore, but Goes and I can get away with it. It comes from the world of pro wrestling. Tijuana taxi driver.
Oh, yeah, back in the 80s.
Yeah, man. One of the wrestlers, I think Greg and the Hammer Valentine called Tito Santana a Tijuana taxi driver, something like that. We have relatives in Tijuana and Sonata or whatever. We were still laughing. But anyway, we can get away with that.
I can't.
Isn't it fun when you can do that? You know, like the black people, they have their word. They can say it all the time or whatever. I'm sure you have your words. And Goes and I had our moment, and I jumped on it. Yeah. But all right. We'll reach out to Feldman to get the goods because Big Ben Rothwell is also auditioning for the nickname The Vault. Let me turn it over to Goes.
The Vault.
Hey, Ben, so I'm thinking, let's just say everything works out perfect. Francis Ngannou versus Ben Rothwell. From your first training camp, your first fight, do you look at things that you just didn't expect to come from Bareknuckle that would become an advantage for you versus him that he hasn't experienced yet?
I just really enjoy it. at my age and the way my body is with the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu, I really enjoy Bareknuckle, man. It just gave me another go because it's easy for me. I'm not gonna lie. I just put a photo up last week. We just got done. We sparred well over an hour. You know what I mean? The whole time I had all sorts of different body types, big dudes, little guys, everything, keeping up with them. It was fun. MMA, it's not so easy. And the risk of injury from wrestling and stuff, it's just, man, it's there all the time. It's a big challenge. So Francis, you look at his fight style, no, he's going to have fun. He likes to box anyway. He added in some takedowns in his last fight because he hurt his knee. He did what he had to do to win that fight. But I think when it comes down to it, he don't even like kicking. I think he likes boxing. So I think it's an easy fit for him. I don't even know if that no hand wraps would bother him either. Mm-hmm. It's just, hey man, it's gonna be it's a tough fight.
So the moniker that's been attached to him, and usually the UFC heavyweight champion, has always been the baddest man on the planet. Now Ciryl Gane and John Jones are fighting for that heavyweight strap. Whoever wins, can they even put that on their Twitter, on their Instagram?
The UFC will, through promotion. Dana White will continue saying Francis was scared of the winner. Even though he beat Gane, it won't matter because that's what the promotion does. Like, that's their job. They're the best. They have the best. Everything, blah, blah, blah. The public and you guys and everybody else that has a brain will be like, dude, Francis is walked away the undefeated champion as of right now, and probably one of the scariest and most devastating heavyweights the UFC ever had. Because you look at the way he won and the string of wins, I mean, the guy is a force of nature, right? Like, he did everything right. He did everything right, man. He fucking won by knockouts. He beat all the toughest guys. He did literally everything. In fact, if anything, I'm like, man, that could have been me. Could have did all of those things right. And look how, and Francis has the look. He has the personality. Like people like him. He doesn't have to be a Conor McGregor, but people like him. He's a very humble guy. He's got an awesome story. People wanted him to win. He had everything. And then all comes time to collect, and they did that to him. And kind of it kind of, for me, it kind of hurt. And I could have did all those things, and that's where I ended up. But I already knew it. I knew it because Robbie Lawler told me back when Robbie won the title. He goes, "It's not what you think, man." I'm like, "Don't tell me that, Robbie. I don't want to hear that." And he's like, "It's not, bro." I'm like, I knew then. Like, this is the way they are, man. This is the way the business is. What was cool to see is Francis said, I don't care. I ain't going to just sign my life away, and you're not going to continue to tell me what to do. And I think it's pretty cool, man, that outside there's some opportunities that obviously lured him to do what he's doing. So God bless him, and I hope he lands it, because it's only going to help the entire community. That's what I see. I see everything that's happening. It's going to help me. It's going to help all the organizations. It's going to help all the fighters.
It's not what you think, man. Can you expand on that? I mean, that's got me curious. I imagine our listeners will want to know.
Yeah, you win the UFC title, you're done. You're set. You're going to make millions upon millions of dollars. You're going to get all this stuff. Everything's done. I did it. And it's not how it is. Maybe for Conor McGregor, and Conor makes a special deal, had a special contract. But I'm pretty sure the UFC, after what they went through with him, are never going to let that happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Be a wild man, being crazy, getting all the, making the demands, getting the crazy pays that he got. They don't want that. Anything that hurts the pocketbook, anything that stops the investors from collecting, like, the shit's going to come to a stop with that. Like, so that means fighters are going to suffer. It means fighters aren't going to get what they should deserve to come. So, yeah. So Robbie, I know, was well liked. I liked him as a champion. I've liked him for years, and he didn't. He said I'm happy, man. I'm living life, but he's like, basically told me it wasn't the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that we all believed and dreamed that it was.
Mm.
That's the truth, and I think you talk to a lot of champions. They're happy. They made a lot more money, but it's not this mountain of gold that you thought it was going to be.
Compare for us your final fights with the UFC versus how Bare Knuckle's treating you. Is it pretty much on par? You know, are you doing better there at Bare Knuckle, or did the UFC do better? Which wouldn't be
As
anything.
far as what?
Compensation.
Conversation?
Compensation.
Oh, compensation.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are like, oh, who the fuck would pay Ben Rothwell? Well, it's just like the dumb fucks in the industry. Like, you don't know anything. Like, I come to fight, man. I do. I'm very professional. I do my thing. And because of my relationship with you guys in the media, you guys did an awesome job of blowing my fight up that week. Luckily, I had a nice fast knockout, give you guys plenty to talk about. But I kind of think my past of always being fan friendly, all those autographs I signed, all those years of UFC fan expos, the interviews with you guys, it kind of all came to fruition for me because you guys really showed my knockout that week. I think it really helped and made a good impression with Bare Knuckle. But I needed that because they do compensate me very well. Like I have to do a good job for Bare Knuckle. Like David put some faith in me, and I hope hopefully it paid off. He's taking care of some of the guys. Like if you're gonna bring eyes to this, he's taking care of people. But it is new. Like you gotta give him a break. Like he hasn't been around. We're only working on year 5. I think for the amount of time, it's pretty amazing what he's able to pay and kind of people he's bringing in. If anything, I think that's just combat sports in general. Combat sports in general is bigger in the world than it's ever been. People are excited. They're into it. They're watching all these different organizations. So as far as compensation, like, yeah, I'm happy, man, for where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Good.
You know, it's good that way.
I remember Artem Lobov, McGregor's ex-buddy, it sounds like. He had said that they were treating him well. He was making more money than ever. Now, I don't know. I don't recall if he said it after his first fight or whatever, but if you recall, he had a couple classics with Jason Knight, a.k.a. Hick Diaz. Hopefully I can say that's his nickname. And then he had the Paulie Malignaggi fight, but he couldn't have been more happier, at least according to what he would tell us in the interviews. And there's a lot of fighters that have gone over to Bare Knuckle and said the same thing. So it's nice to have it as an option.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just got to do a good job and, keep getting people to tune in and watch. And that's what's exciting about what he's talking about, what's happening the next couple of months. It's really, everybody's going to go like, oh, shit. He's got some big signings coming up too, all of that. So this thing is really blowing up, man. It's like I said, I'm really happy to be a part of it right now. It fits me and people are, and the live shows. I went to several live shows now. I love going because the fans are so happy, man. There's nothing. You see this. You watch any MMA event on TV. You go to a live event. You're like, wow, it's so different live. Nothing is more true than Bare Knuckle. The live events are fucking crazy because you hear that. You're like, damn, it's not like anything else you've ever been to. That way. So it's to the fans that go, fucking become fans. There are people that go for the first time, become fans. If you're into combat sports, you go to a live event, you're going to watch Bare Knuckle from there on out. Because it's fucking fun and exciting. There's no downtime in the fights. There's no real stalling a bit. It's just nonstop action. So it's very, very fan friendly.
I imagine we all have some sort of a private hit list. Maybe you keep yours under your Cameron Diaz poster or something. I don't know. But on that list, did you add Greg Hardy? I'm sure it says Francis, the guy from England, Arnold Allen, or the champion. I forget his name. Arnold Adams. Sorry. Did you add Greg Hardy's name to the list, or you're not worried about him yet right now?
It's not about worry or whatever. It's kind of like I'm just got to be ready for him. The fight might happen, it might not. 1 minute I'm kind of like, oh, they're not about, and now here he's fighting February. So the truth is, I don't know anything as far as the Greg Hardy goes. He's a little bit of an enigma because I wasn't sure if he was really getting involved with boxing and trying to go that route, but now he's coming back to Bare Knuckle. So I just got to be ready. He's a big boy. We're going to see what he does in February. And, I won't be surprised to eventually if that happens because so many people keep asking about the fight. For whatever reason, people want to see me and him throw Bare Knuckle. And I will throw these at anyone that gets in that steps across from me. So I have no problem with that.
We've seen it. The last question is, I think you should also be an ambassador at these events, kind of like Anthony Johnson. Stuff's always happening at the dais. And I'm not, honestly, this goes to Bareknuckle, to David Feldman. I'm just not impressed with their security force. They
brought a big dude up on the stage after.
Well, yeah. 10 minutes later, he showed up, right? By then, everything had been flipped over. The mics weren't working. You know, it took them a while to get it sorted. Can't you kind of play that Anthony Johnson, may he rest in peace, role?
The hell with that. Guys want to fight, let them fight. When you say ambassador, and he told me this, I went to a few of the events after my fight.
Yeah.
That's an ambassador, being with the fans, signing, having a great time. I think I kind of showed some of the other guys, like, this is how you do it. I seemed to catch Dave's eye, and he was really happy. And he's like, yeah, I want you to be coming to some of these events.
Good.
Plans on bringing me to Bareknuckle. Yeah, get me there. I love being with the fans. That's always been my thing. I have a great time with that. And that's how we make, go meeting people in person. That's how we make fans, you know, and especially for this, we need that. So that's kind of ambassador I want to be. As far as a security guard, no, fuck no, I'm the worst.
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant
I'll let them fight.
While you're there,
what are you doing? I'm like, hey, as long as nobody dies, we're good. They jumped between them. I wouldn't have. I'd have pushed Richmond into Lorenzo. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking figure this shit out now.
You know, one time at the Playboy Mansion, let me see, Phil Baroni pushed Jake Shields into Frank Trigg, and that caused the fight because Shields and Trigg, this was back in 2006, they were in a tournament together, and so they kind of like talked some trash. Eventually, they didn't meet in the tournament, but they kind of would always kind of go at each other a little bit. And I think Phil saw an opportunity, and as everyone was exiting, everybody's kind of tight quarters, you know, leaving, and Phil pushes Jake into Frank. Frank, the first time, looked back, kind of like, what's going on? Because the first time they didn't really touch, because I think Jake pulled back, you know, kind of hit the brakes. And then Phil did it again, and this time they hit. And so then by then, Frank already knew it was Jake. So now he's thinking he's getting punked by Jake, not actually Phil instigating it. And then Frank throws an elbow, Jake does something, and they had to be separated. Goes got in there as well. He looked like how how John Dodson looked in that, you know, in that one video that recently happened at BKFC, but he was in there. But it was funny that you just said I would have pushed Richmond. It reminded me of that. Remember that, Goose?
Yeah, I took some friendly fire on that one.
Playboy security was like this. The big dudes in suits, they were like, you better send some people because I don't know how we're gonna separate if this thing, because there was some pushing and shoving, and then I think cooler heads prevailed. But you know, there was a lot of MMA fighters there and not enough Playboy security there. Yeah. All right, my man. Thank you for the time as always. Hope you're well. Late Happy New Year. And hope you get the fight.
Yeah, you guys don't have to wait for something like this always. I like getting out with you guys. And I did get kind of quiet after my fight in October. So if we got something else, man, I'd like to get on maybe before or definitely when the fight gets announced. Definitely stay on Dave. Dave or David. I never understand if he's like really strict about wanting to be called David. I don't know.
Dave. I think, well, I don't think he cares.
Mr. Feldman.
Dave. I think I call him Dave. And his last name? Yeah, Feldman.
All right.
Dave Feldman. All right. We're done with the interview. Have a good one, Ben.